Hey everyone, welcome to Take 5 with Tom. I'm Tom, your host, and in this video, I'm going to talk about how to get professional quality results when shooting your videos with a smartphone. Hey everyone, welcome to Take 5 with Tom. I'm Tom, your host, and as we mentioned in the intro, today we're going to talk about getting professional quality video results with a smartphone. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are probably going, well, welcome to the party, Tom. Already doing that. Doing it with YouTube, doing it with vlog, doing it with web content, doing it with my personal videos. Yeah, I get it. I've been watching that revolution and that evolution of smartphone camera technology pretty much since they came out too. Always been impressed, amazed at the magic that they're producing, but I never really used one to shoot a project end to end, which is what I did a few weeks ago, and man, did it turn me around. Now, the reason it turned me around is because for the last 20 years or so, I've been working with digital videography and cinematography going all the way back to the DVX-100. First of the sort of famous Prosumer cameras that gave independent filmmakers that cinematic look. And since then, I've been shooting a wide range of content on everything from Prosumer, DSLR, and broadcast quality cameras. I've been shooting music videos and TV commercials, reality style content, web explainers of every kind. A few years ago, I co-produced, edited, wrote, and shot a little bit of a award-winning feature-length documentary that you can see on Amazon and other streaming platforms. I'll probably do a whole video on that at some point. So most of the projects that I've done have used those kind of larger format cameras or those more feature-rich kind of camera platforms. When I did this sort of project on a whim a few weeks ago and ended up with such an amazing result just using an iPhone 14 Pro and a selfie stick, I couldn't believe it. So I said, okay, this is amazing. I got to talk about this. So we're going to talk about that today. So first, before we get to that, a little bit on Take 5 with Tom. So the whole concept behind Take 5 with Tom was take 5 minutes, get 5 takeaways, or learn 5 things. This is the inaugural video. It's going to be longer than 5 minutes. Most of the time, I'm going to adhere to that 5-minute rule, but I'm always going to give you those 5 learning takeaways with whatever content I talk about. The content of the channel, I know that the YouTube sort of rule for success is focus on a content topic, go deep on that topic, and build your audience. I'm going to experiment a little bit. I'm here to have fun with this kind of thing. I'm going to be talking about digital cinematography, filmmaking, screenwriting, that kind of stuff. I'm also going to be talking about business and entrepreneurship because I've built some companies. I've raised money. I've helped other entrepreneurs with their ventures, from everything from pitch decks to fundraising. So I'm going to talk about that, product development. I'm also going to be talking about music and guitars. I'll probably throw some product reviews in there at some point. So I hope to do this all in a very fun kind of format. I'll try, like I said, as much as possible to adhere to the 5-minute rule. But on some videos like today, we're going to exceed that. So a little bit of setup on the video and why I shot it and how I got so excited about this transformation and using smartphones as an A-camera platform. A few weeks ago, my nephew and his wife, who had been building this amazing food truck business around this international food truck, the concept that they came up with, were at a food truck festival in Hampton, New Hampshire. Decided to go and visit them for a little bit. Thought I was going to be there for an hour because I didn't want to get in their way. Got there and was amazed, not only by the quality of food, but by the crowd forming around their truck, the people coming back for more. It just kind of blew me away. And I said, something special is going on here, so I'm going to do something cool for them. I'm going to shoot a diners, drive-ins, and dives style Food Network style segment for them. We're going to watch that right now, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the 5 things, the 5 takeaways for this video that I think make it so special. So let's take a look at the video. Food Truck Festivals of America was in Hampton, New Hampshire this weekend to hold their first annual food truck and craft beer festival at the Smutty Nose Brewing Company. There were lots of great food trucks from all over the state, but we were there to check out Peaks, where owners Natasha Malia Riola and her husband Bo Phillips have been cooking up international eats and dishing up mountains of the state's best shaved ice. Tasha used to work on her mom and dad's food truck when she was a little kid. When she moved to Wolfboro, New Hampshire 10 years ago, it was hard for her to find that great food with that international flair that she had grown up with. So she dusted off those family recipes and put her husband to work. And the result? Some of the best international food that you've ever seen on a food truck in the Granite State. With Tasha, if it's Pacific Rim, it's in. Her great rotating menu of Korean, Vietnamese, Chinese, Thai, and Indian-inspired dishes means there's never a dull item on the menu at Peaks.
So what did you have today?
So far, the bao buns and the nachos.
We were the first one of the first ones here.
Yeah.
And this is the first truck we went to. Now we're here again.
You're back?
The bao buns.
Bao buns.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bao
Now we
buns.
need to try this ice cream combination. This castle.
Yes, the shaved ice. We're on the fence, and we're going France or Alaska.
Yeah.
So many choices.
Oh! Stop it! I'm gonna pay for both, okay? Please, thank you so much. That was a good idea.
Tasha's passion for quality means that everything is scratch-made and locally sourced.
Get spring rolls now, so I just make these in advance and then we freeze them.
And those are all scratch made.
Yep, veggie.
Because of course they are.
Everything is.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
There's so many great choices on the menu.
Second time today, right?
Yep, second time.
What'd you get the second time?
We got the apple crisp right now.
And you decimated it.
Yep, we did. Delicious. The bao buns.
But the star of the day was the Korean chicken bao bun.
My name's Andre, first time trying the buns.
What do you think?
That was incredible.
Off the hook, right?
Huge fan. This is amazing.
So be sure to go on over to peaksfoodtruck.com where you can find out where Tasha and Bo are going to be next, book an event for yourself, and keep track of these two as their star continues to rise as one of the best international food trucks in the Granite State. Okay, so not bad. I mean, better than the average smartphone video. And now I'm going to talk to you about the 5 things that I think make this video so special. Now, granted, there's a lot more than 5, I think, in this video that you could pick from. And also keep in mind that there's a lot of really fantastic accessories that you can get out there now for the smartphone that will make these cameras look, feel, and operate more like a professional camera rig. The magic in this whole video for me was the fact that I just shot it with a stock iPhone 14 Pro, no special accessories, and a selfie stick. So let's talk about the 5. Okay, so number 1, keep it stable. Now, the great thing about smartphones, especially that I've noticed with the iPhone 14, and I've noticed this with iPhone for quite some time, is that they provide this in-camera stabilizations that's just off the charts. I mean, I'm gonna throw up a video I shot the other day at the beach with my wife and the dog, and this is just me walking down the beach, and you can see this glassy, fluid, Steadicam-like image. Again, that's just the internal stabilization of the camera. Now, there's a couple of other things that I think make the stabilization and make the shooting in this really interesting. The first is the use of the selfie stick. I was able to do all kinds of pushes and pans and get those God shots, like when we were over Tasha when she was preparing the nachos and going out the window for the food. And the selfie stick allowed me to get that additional reach, and the in-camera stabilization allowed that shot to look nice and fluid and glassy. However, there are some things that you can do now, like in the old days when you didn't have that kind of internal camera stabilization. You had to make sure that you were turning your full body, you know, when you made the shots, and moving your body in and out, not just moving the camera with your hands like this, but moving your whole body and turning them around. That just kind of adds to that fluid feel. So if you combine those kinds of fluid movements with the already amazing in-camera stabilization, you're going to wind up with some really fantastic looking footage. Number 2, shoot wide. Now, this isn't a hard requirement. I mean, people are going to have their own preferences. I happen to like the wide frame. The reason that I use the wide frame and the 0.5 setting on the zoom with my iPhone 14 was for a few reasons. The first is, first of all, I love the perspective and the wide that a wide lens gives you. You know, just there's something about that image that really does something for me. The other thing is I like to move the camera a lot, so I'm doing my zooms and my pushes and my pans to get you know, the kind of framing that I want, and that makes it feel more dynamic to me. The second thing is that a wide lens, especially in a food truck, is going to make it feel much bigger. So if you're in a confined space, using a wide lens will just give much more room and space to that feeling. The other thing that this sort of allowed me to do is, since I didn't have my shotgun mic, my on-camera mic, I only had the on-camera mic for the iPhone to get location audio with. If I'm on the 0.5 setting, if I'm on the wide setting, I can push in much closer to the subject. And that allows me to get the microphone closer to them and get better quality audio. Not all the audio that I had was usable, but I did end up with a couple of interview segments with customers where using that wide lens allowed me to get in closer for better quality audio and save the shot. Number 3, try not to zoom in and zoom out so much. Now, there were a couple of situations where I did use the zoom, and the reason that I used the zoom is because I couldn't stay on the wide setting and get the kind of push or effect that I wanted for that shot. So, and when you're zooming in and out, I think it can be distracting. So you want to be very careful about its use. So as much as possible, try to pick a setting or pick a lens or pick a zoom factor on the phone, stick with it and move the camera as opposed to zooming the lens. But when you're in situations where you can't either move your body or you can't get close enough to the subject and you have to use the zoom, go for it. Absolutely. Just try to minimize it. Number 4, shoot more than you think you need, please. I mean, I'm constantly, I sort of came up as an editor, and so I'm constantly editing in my head. And one example that I give of like making sure that you have enough footage is when we did the documentary style, or we did the feature-length documentary, we had 350 hours of footage. I had that much footage to work with as an editor. And you'd think 350 hours, you've got more than enough stuff. Well, guess what? There were times when I had to go out and shoot pickups because I didn't have enough stuff. And, with this particular video, it was a 2-minute, 50-second runtime. I shot about an hour and a half's worth of video. Most of those clips were just a few seconds long. Shot every sign that I could find. I shot the beer tent. I shot way more interview stuff than I possibly could use. I shot way more process stuff that I could possibly use. The thing I tell people is, just when you think you've shot everything you need, shoot some more. Okay, so now number 5, use voiceover. Now, in this particular case, I was kind of hoping that I could interview Tasha and Bo and get their story and have them tell their story, which I did in interview form, but the audio wasn't great. So I got back and I knew I was going to do some kind of diners, drive-ins, and dive style thing, but the great thing about that format, if you want to do one of those segments, is that there are some of those segments that are predominantly voiceover. And what I said was, if I could achieve that kind of bumpy, vibrant, joyful, cadence to it and write some decent copy that was, somewhat reminiscent of that type of segment, I might have a way to make up for the fact that I didn't have the location audio that I wanted to tell the story in the way that I wanted. So that's what I did. And in this case, I think it really saved it. I think it stitched the story together much better. It's not something that you can always do. It's especially, like I've done a lot of voiceover work, so I'm used to doing that kind of thing. And I've got great microphone setups, and not everybody's going to be able to do that. But if you're in a situation where you've shot lots of great video and you still want to be able to stitch the narrative together, using voiceover is something that you can do to save the video. And I feel like that happened in this case. And it also combined with the music. I mean, I went to a couple of great sites, and I'll post one of the sites that I went to look for music, and one of my go-to sites in the description, so you can see where I got the music from. But I try to combine it with that voiceover with a very diners, drive-ins, and dives-like style video audio track as well. So using voiceover in those situations can help you save the video. Okay, so that's the inaugural video for Take 5 with Tom. Thanks for watching. I hope you found something useful. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you have questions, ideas, or thoughts on what I'm doing here, anything about the video that I put together, questions about the video, please add those to the comments. In the description, you'll find links to all the gear that I used and the website that I got the music from for the video. If you have other ideas for topics that you'd like me to cover, also add those to the comments. I look forward to seeing you again on Take 5 with Tom.